Well, good morning, everybody. We got a little bit of snow here in northern Indiana, so we're gonna go work in the shop today. Got some projects in here I want to get done, so let's get in there and get started. All right, so first thing we need to do in the shop is we need to repair our new kitty. So my builder is building a porch. He brought me this little kitten because I told him that I wanted a shop cat. Well, as you can see, our little kitty here has the typical barn cat matted eyes. So I got some little bit of eye ointment here. I'm gonna try to get in the kitten's eye here. Some in there, and it's kind of like ow, 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 ow. Okay, hang on. Oh. It's like grease gun grease. So there you go. So not sure what I'm going to name this kitten. I've had her for about a week or so now, and I haven't quite come up with a name. So if anybody's got any name ideas for this cute little kitty, it is a girl, leave them in the comments below. Help me name her. I kind of thought about maybe Meredith. I don't know. But it's a cute little kitten. I don't know how old it is, but it was in his barn, and he said they love to catch mice. The other ones did. So now we have a shop cat. It's not quite Wilson caliber, but she'll do. No, she's not quite old enough to get up and down and stuff. So, anyways, what my plan is today to do, and if you notice, I have a microphone on, a wireless microphone. A lot of viewers have suggested that I got one. I had one a while back. It didn't work real well. So I got this one, and we'll try this out. The only thing I don't like about wireless microphones, and that might be a little different with this one, is they pick up all my body sounds, like breathing, stuff like that. And I'm afraid this cat might be a problem because she loves to meow a lot. But we'll try the microphone out. I know a lot of you said there was echo in my building. I don't know if this is going to help with that or not. I hope it does. I don't have the little fluffy thing on it for the wind. I don't know if we'll try it with that. It don't stay on very well for some reason. But we'll try part of the video like this without it, and we'll try part of the video with it. And I believe that's just for wind. So we'll see. But anyways, what I plan on doing in this video is I've got my new idea ear corn picker behind the 2940 here. I want to fix that and get it out of here. I'm going to take it over to our other building where the combines are and put it in the building because it's going to be a little bit before we can pick ear corn again. I was hoping the ground would freeze, but with this much snow, I don't know if it's going to. But we'll get it out of here because I need to get this main path through my shop here cleared because I want to get my new furnace put up. I do have natural gas to the shop. We got that all done when we run it to the house. So I have an 80,000 BTU Mr. Heater that we're going to hang. The original one was a 50,000 BTU, and it did really good in here. So Northern Tool had some pretty good Black Friday deals. So I just picked up a 80,000 BTU. And the plan is eventually I'll take the 50,000 BTU when I add on to the shop. Eventually I'll put it in there because that'll be a lot longer, and it'll need heating that in because the ceiling will be dropped down some. All right, let's get started. Enough of me talking. Let's get working on the ear corn picker. What we have to do is we need to put that outside row divider back on that I tore off when I was trying to pick in the wet conditions. We'll put that back on, and then I noticed the chain that drags the ears of corn up from basically the throat of the picker head up into the shucking bed. That chain is off the idler sprocket at the bottom. One side is actual sprocket, the other side is just a smooth roller. And that chain is off of there, and it's off to one side, and it's grinding into the galvanized metal of the picker. So we need to get that loosened up, get that run back over, get that tightened back up. And there's just a few minor things I need to do. This microphone's nice though, because now I can look around when I'm talking and I don't have to worry about the sound going in and out, and I'm not carrying the camera around the whole time. I know a lot of you guys say that you get seasick from that, so that's something else I'm trying to work on. Clifton wanted me to get those meta glasses, but I'm afraid with those meta glasses that I'll be bobbing around too much and I'll make everybody seasick using those. So, all right, let's get started. Since it did snow, a lot of people have been asking me about the 621 case wheel loader and when we're going to get that transmission back in. Now that we have a lot of snow on the ground, we're not going to be able to do anything for a few days because they're calling for more snow. It is Sunday. Tomorrow's Monday. They're calling for more snow Monday. We're going to be out of commission on doing excavating work. So we'll work in the shop and we'll get that payloader transmission put back in. Really excited to get it back going and use it and see what it's like to have a fully rebuilt transmission in that loader. Hopefully it's pretty impressive. So, all right, let's get started. All right, so don't mind the mess over here. This was an auction lot that I bought on an online auction. There's a lot of great stuff in there. I've been sorting through it. Found a bunch of brass fittings, so I got me a nice brass fitting assortment that I made up for the shop now. Compression fittings, things like that. So what we got going on is we've got our outside row divider that ripped off. We're going to fix that. And then here's the chain that I was talking about. As you can see down in here, it is off of that sprocket idler down there. So what we're going to have to do is come out here, loosen these bolts up, and we'll have to back the tension off of that and get that run back over and on there. It shouldn't be too big of a job as long as the bolts all free up. I sprayed them down with some old Rusties a couple times over the last couple days of it sitting in here. And once we get that, we'll get that thrown back on. All right, so we're going to spray it down with a little more old Rusties. Stuff works real well. Pick it up at your CNH case dealers. Whoops, dropped my other phone on the floor. That's all right. So, I don't know if I've mentioned it before in my videos, but I've been dealing with some severe foot pain. And that's what's been kind of keeping me from messing around in the shop at night and working on this stuff. But last Tuesday or Monday, I went to the chiropractor and he was able to adjust my foot. What had happened was at some point I injured my foot and didn't even realize it. And it's being my left foot, the arch was like gone out of it. Well, the bones that make up your foot had like collapsed and I lost my arch. So that had rolled my basically my heel bone down. And when I was stepping, I was like stepping on the bone and the flesh between it, and it was causing severe pain. So that is all on the mend now. And I'll tell you what a huge difference. I am amazed at how 2 adjustments at the chiropractor has changed the way that foot feels. And originally I thought I was going to have to get insoles, corrective insoles, and he said that at my age that shouldn't be necessary. That's an odd size. That's that. Oh, how did I get 2 half-inch sockets? Let me go grab a. I got one out of the other set. Somehow it got in my the 12 points and 6 points got mixed up. Let me go find 9/16. So I won't need any corrective insoles or anything like that. Just have to make a few more visits to the chiropractor, which is cool with me. I don't even have to change brands of boot either. So I was pretty happy about that. Oh yeah, that's gotta go that way. What am I thinking? You gotta shove that up in order to get that chain slacked off. carriage bolt. Tighten this one up a little more. But I can't remember what I would have done to hurt my foot. But they say you can step on just something random like a rock and you can hurt a foot pretty easily. That's what I've been told anyways. I don't know if that's enough yet or not. That might be enough to get it on. Let's get a pry bar and try to pry that apart. Hopefully, maybe I can do one side and not have to mess with the other. I got it back on there. It was a little bit of a bear. Just had to take a pry bar and kept prying it over. And I did have to loosen this side up a little bit. It's like getting a track back on an excavator. Got it hooked on the top and then worked it around there. And it finally snapped back on. So now I can tighten all that back up. All right. Find my right socket here, 9/16. Well, there it goes. Might have to take a link out of the chain eventually. I think we're probably maxed out on our adjustments, but I've never actually, this is that square chain, and I've never actually taken a link out of that. I'll have to ask Dad how to do it. I believe we have Great Grandpa's chain breaker for it. And we might get lucky and get enough to maybe tighten it up just enough to get it finished up here. Yeah, I think we're gonna get just barely enough. That should be enough. That stuff's pretty forgiving. Jam these good. Tighten these back up. Don't want to tighten them too hard because they're not in very thick galvanized. We don't want to tear the, we don't want to round the sheet metal out that they're in. There we go. Now I'll go do the other side and we'll work on that rotifier. And then once we got good weather, we'll get back at it. I'm thinking about, since I only have short rows to do, what I might try to do is just fill the conveyor up and then go back up to the wagon and run the conveyor and empty it, since I can turn that conveyor on and off. That might be the way that I can finish up that muck. We'll have to see. Well, we're going to get started on this rotifier here, and as we can see, the bracket that originally held it is a little bit twisted up. So I think it's repairable. It's just kind of boogered up, and they've got some wire under here that they twisted around everything. The original owner that had it, they twisted all that up. It looks like instead of putting a bolt in it, trying to tip it up, they just twisted the wire around to take up some of that slack or something. I don't know what they got going on here. See if we can get this off. It just used, oh, that's some 12-2 house wire. And then we just got some, looks like electric fence wire maybe wrapped up in here. And here comes the cat again. You know what? I think we buzz that bolt out. See if we can. I don't think I can get the impact up in there. Problem. Try it. Well, get on there, you bugger. All right. Oh yeah, it'll fit up there. Get a wrench up in there. There we go. I accidentally stepped on a cat a little bit ago, but that's a hard lesson it's got to learn if it's going to be in the shop space, is it has to stay out from under people's feet. I didn't mean to, by no means at all. I just stepped down off the picker and there was the cat. I didn't feel anything crunch, so I don't think I hurt it severely, but oh, I think right. So it taught it a lesson for a little while, but now it's coming back around. What we got going on there? It looks like somebody done a little tack welding or something on that. Yeah, somebody bird daubed some weld on there, so let's get the torch and turn that to liquid. All right, got our torch here. Get up in there and junk striker. Let's get Madison to bring me a new one home. This one got stepped on. Got stepped on about like a cat. All right, there we go. Get them hot things off the floor so they're not popping the concrete. Get these tanks shut off. All right, let's move on to the next part. Yeah, I kind of forgot a piece. We need this piece too. I had this flipped up here out of the way. Somebody bird daubed on that with some coat hangers or something at one time because that nut is not coming off. Oh, you dirty bird. Darn it. My first time. Whatever that stuff that they use is kind of nasty. You don't want to cut. Just wants to melt. You never know what they found around the old barnyard to melt on stuff. Hard to tell. Probably is some sort of jewelry his wife had. Who knows? All right, now I gotta figure out how that is supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be bent like that, and I'm not. Yeah, should match that one. Okay, so we just need to get rid of these rivets and put it back in our row divider. Well, here's what we got. We've got a row divider that's in pretty sad shape. Our tin work is all broke up, but I think I can beat all that back flat. And I think that I can maybe weld a washer in there, maybe inside and outside, tack weld it all the way around, and fix that. This, we can beat this back, and we'll just, instead of riveting that, we'll just weld that in there. And we'll just have to fix this up a little bit somehow. Got to get rid of this baler wire. And then this, we need to straighten this out, because this has to sit back in here like so. And that's pretty bent up. I believe this should be flat across. I wonder if the inside one is the same as the outside one. I'll go have a look at it, see what it looks like. I really don't know what that is. I'm going to try to grind that off of something. It's not brass. If it was brass, I think it would have just dripped right off there. I don't know what the. You try to blow it with the oxygen, and it won't come off. Hmm. Whoops. Cat's meowing a lot. I might have to step on it again. That's terrible. Oh boy. Well, we're getting it. We're getting it. I almost need something on the table that I can slide it over and beat on. So I found this trailer hitch over there in my pile of auction finds, and I think this might just be what we need here. Go ahead and C-clamp it to the table. Got these C-clamps the same auction. Kind of like having a hardy in a anvil. I have an anvil, but I don't have a hardy that's shaped this way. I could stick in the hardy hole and shape this. A little too much stuff in the building right now. like this press I made down here for the suspension bushings for Kenworth 8-bag air ride. I need to take that out, put it in a storage trailer when I get them cleaned out. Started cleaning them out. It's just a lot to clean out. Oh yeah, look at there. That'd be nice. Let's try this. I mean, by no means is this going to be perfect because the tin work is stretched. Uh-oh. Oh boy, a tip fell out. I'll have to put that back in there and tack weld it in. But anyways, as I was saying, the tin work is stretched. And once it stretches from being bent, it's a bear to get it back. Sometimes you can relief cut stuff and get things to go back, but this picker's how old? What were these built in like the early 60s? So the tin work is not in the greatest of shape, just from fatigue of being on the machine, you know, just the vibration stuff, you know, causes these cracks and breaks and things like that. So we'll get it back to usable condition. It's not like we're trying to win any awards here to show or anything like that. We just want it to look nice and we want it to function properly. So let's get this tacked back together and see what we can do with it. So I decided that I wanted to rebuild the row divider right there where the hinge is towards the inside where the row comes in. So I had this old hand truck laying outside. This is the bottom part of it. It never was very good because this is pretty thin, but this metal will work perfect for what I want to do. And the rest of the hand truck, I'm going to make some sort of welding card out of it. I think it'll work out real nice. So we're going to go ahead and cut a piece out. Not super thick material, but it'll work good for what we want it for. I guess I could have used a plasma cutter for that, but sometimes it's just easier to grab a grinder with a cutoff wheel. So I want to put this piece in like so, something like that, and then I want to fold it in and marry it into this piece. And cool thing is it's got these little raised areas that were for strength. So maybe we'll put that like so, and then we'll bend that over. And I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and drill my holes, get my bolts in here. And I believe this, I think it's going to go on the inside. I think that's going to be the best for it. I'm not quite sure how they had it because all this was all broke out and gone. And I did cut this back into some little better material. So it should work out pretty nice. I need to maybe trim that off a little bit. Well, got my piece in here the way I want it. I got the bolts in it. So I know I'm using hex head bolts. Probably would be helpful to have some carriage bolts, but this is all I have on hand right now. And really that's not going to cause that big a problem. Might put a little weld on the front of them just to round them off. Something like that, but it's not going to be an issue. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the torch and I'm going to heat that up. I'm going to try to fold that over and try to work that back together. Try to somehow or rather bring these together it should work, but I think we're gonna need a little heat on it first. Get the torch here, and George is out plowing snow for me. This was originally bent pretty sharp right here. So we're going to start here. See what we can get. Like I said, it ain't going to be perfect. Oh yeah, something like that. Oh yeah, that's gonna be nice, real nice. Okay, so we're over at the Arc Droid, and I need to do something with these two square holes that are all broke out. So what I'm going to do is I made some of these washers for the 1083 corn head on the 2388 Dad's Combine. The ear savers, the black sheet metal in the back, on the back of the head to keep the ears of corn from flipping out. They were pretty cracked up from age. And anybody that's ever been around one of them corn heads knows that that is one of their downfalls, is when they get older, them start to crack up, and rotodividers start to break up. Well, anyways, I went through and cut out a bunch of these washers for Dad. We repaired all that and it worked out great. Sandwiches everything real nice, holds it good and tight. So I'm going to do the same washers that I did for him for this, and we'll pinch that tight, and we'll weld around that washer a little bit, and that'll tie that row divider all together and make it real nice. I got my cuts out of order, but that's all right. That'll work. Well, I don't know how I missed this, but this is bent severely. That's what happened when it got drug around. So we'll go ahead and warm that up a little bit. Let me get this torch around this tripod. We'll heat that up and pull that back around. And notice that when I was putting them big washers in we just made, them washers worked out real nice. I'll show you here in a second. Be nice when I get my heat in. Shop's not terrible right now. It's about 48 in there. I don't like it too warm anyways, but I do like a little heat. It is nice if you get a little chilled, you can walk over and stand in front of the furnace for a little bit, let it blow on you. Let's see. I'm just gonna go with straight because I'm not 100% sure where it's supposed to be. Keep it like that for right now. We'll hold it up and see what it looks like. Might have to, looks like it might be slightly twisted a little bit compared to the other one, maybe? Yeah. No. Well, I'm gonna go look and see what it looks like first. All right, well, I got it bolted back on, and we're going to finish out the video on normal audio just through the phone. I apologize for that, but my receiver went dead for my microphone, so that's something I'm going to have to watch and keep an eye on that, make sure that stays charged. Nice thing is I caught it because it shuts the video off on the phone when it does that, so that's not good. I'd rather get a silent video than end up with no sound at all on it, or no video at all. You know, it's a good thing to know in case we're doing a cool project and that shuts down, I won't miss it. So anyways, I've done the best I could with this. It's just the metal's stretched. It's kind of poked out a little here, but I don't think this is going to be an issue because we're always going forward unless we back up. I need to like grab this and twist it, but I just can't get a good grip on it to actually roll it, and I think it's part of just everything stretched and so tweaked up. I'm gonna try to find some replacement parts, but this will get us by for now. This will be perfectly fine. That one looks like somebody backed over it one time with a tractor or something like that. So I'm gonna grab the welder real quick, do a little welding, and then it's about time to go in for the day. I got some other things I need to do since it is Sunday and get prepared for the coming work week. So let me grab the welder real quick, and I want to get this put in the shed yet today and get some shop space back. Well, I don't know what's going on with my camera, but it didn't video me welding that up. So we'll get a little video welding here. I just want to tack these washers a little bit, but I got that welded up. I had to take my time because that's pretty thin. My wire's a little long. So I'm just going to put a few tacks on these. Thin. Gotta love thin tin. Should be TIG welding it, I suppose. There we go. That'll work. I'll just hold them together a little better. Alright, it's ready to go back to the shed. Everything's bolted back together. Everything's the way it should. I got the tip put back on. I think we're good to go. So I'm going to go put it away. Well, I made it over here to the building. You can see we've got the combines, the sprayer, all tucked in here. We got the grain cart in the back corner. It was like playing Tetris to get all this in here. And then we went crazy with the mouse poison. We got the red packs. The red packs, they have to eat very little of it and it'll off them. So if they just nibble one pellet out of there, they're done. Now, like the green packs, that is actually safer if like a dog or a cat ate the rodent after it perished from that. So if you get the red packs, that gets rid of them. Another thing that George and I done was this right here. So I seen an exterminator on YouTube do this. This right here is 2 parts baking soda, 1 part Jiffy cornbread mix with some maple syrup in it. And it actually smells really good when you make it. The idea of this is the rodent is attracted to it by the smell because it smells so good. They eat it. That baking soda mixes with the acids in their stomach, and it's just like the volcano that you made in school in like chemistry class. It fizzes and causes pressure. Well, a mouse can't fart and a mouse can't burp. So basically, also rats, they can't do that. So they actually just explode inside. So gets rid of them that way. And the beautiful thing about this is it is perfectly safe for a cat, dog, a hawk, whatever would eat that rodent after it perishes. It's not going to hurt the other animal that eats it. So it's pretty nice deal. And you can make a lot of it cheap. Like a bucket of the poison pellets is like $70. George and I got a bunch of this at the dollar store for $11, I think, and we've got these paper plates all over the place in the building under the equipment and stuff. The only downfall to this is, like the other poisons dry the animal out so it don't stink as bad. Now this, it's not going to dry the rodent, whatever it is. It's not going to dry it out is the only thing. But we figured if we put it on the floor, I put one on the tailboard of the combine. We figured if we put it on the floor, maybe they'll get sick and go away before they are even able to get in any piece of equipment in here. So, all right, I'm gonna back in, get unhooked, and then I'm gonna head home before it gets too dark. That actually looks really nice now that I sat it down on the building floor to unhook it. Yeah, I like that. That looks good. I didn't even think to set it down on the floor in my shop, but that looks fairly decent. I like that. All right, I'm gonna pull out of here, shut the doors, and head home. Madison went to Dairy Queen and got me a birthday cake since yesterday, the 29th, was my birthday. So, anyways, thank you for watching. Greatly appreciate it. See you all in the next one. Have a good evening.